The San Francisco 49ers continue to go strong in the offseason. They're still building. Here's the kicker, though. It's all defense. What will the 49ers look to do in the draft? Will they address the offensive line? I tell you what, we're going to talk about that right here. We're going to do mock draft Monday. It's an offensive day. Get ready, everybody, for the Wayne Breezie Show.
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact. Overmotivated is an understatement. Gold-blooded to the core, got your squad hating. Breezy make it look easy. Breezy on everything like 05067 Wheezy. This is not a game. Yeah, we faithful in every way. And even though we on the East Coast, very loyal to the Bay. Heavy red and gold every day. And if you really a Niner fan, I know you can relate. Applying pressure with this content like smaller bear. We not accepting no slander about Trey, so beware. I stay in exclusively Niner hats. And I always tell the truth, this exclusively Niner facts. Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Yeah. Breezy this.
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. Got the Niners on my back. What's going on, everybody? I'm hoping my sound effects are working because, of course, I made some more changes. So did you guys hear the foghorn? Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you heard the foghorn in the background. If you didn't hear the foghorn, oh well. I'm sorry they're not working properly again, but I'm sure they'll kick in at any given moment on the show at any given time, like it's any given Sunday. Instead of today is Monday. Good morning, faithful. How are you doing? It's your boy Wayne Breezie. I got the Breezie's bunch loaded up, locked and ready to go, man. Eddie G's in the place to be with the hashtag BB. I see you over there. Troy's in the building. Good morning, family. Shadow Vision, the wonderful Jacqueline Knox is in the building. She didn't even say hi to me. She just started saying hi to Troy. You know, hey, Shadow. Hey, everybody. Not hi, Breezy, whatever. But what? Thank you. Thank you. Boss is in the building. Good morning, Niner fam. Let's pick up some late great offensive linemen and some weapons. I think we trade up in the first. That deserves a foghorn if it works. There's the hashtag. All right, there's the hashtag. Good morning. Miss Debbie's in the building. Good morning, Wayne, and happy Monday, everyone. Remember, hit that like button. All right, make sure you guys are hitting that like button. It's already prompt for you to do so once you join the stream. So go ahead and hit the like button. You already know what it does, what it does, what it does. What's going on? Hello, let's go. I'm in the building. I love it. Travis King, I see you out there, Playboy. What's going on, man? What's going on, family? Listen, Tara Dome is in the building. Christy Marie is in the building. All right, they did not hear the foghorn. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand why it doesn't want to work. It works when it wants to work. All right, let me see. Boom, boom. Hey, man, I can't make this stuff up. It is what it is. I didn't really change nothing but unplug it and plugged it back in. That's the only thing that I did was unplug it and plug it back in. All right. Shout out to everybody out there. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Uncle Scott's in the building. What's going on, family? Let's get down to the formalities of the show. Guys, the song Breezy This is Breezy That's available on all musical platforms. Make sure you go ahead and check it out. Support myself and my boy Lake City Fresh. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe right here on the YouTube channel at The Wayne Breezie. Listen, the link is down there in the description as well. Do me a favor. Join and become a member. Just click on the join button. You can become a member of the Breezie's Bunch. The 3-tier packages out there for you guys to look into. Make sure you guys go ahead and do so. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, The Wayne Breezie Show, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. All right, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. I don't know. There was an update with the computer, I guess. Damn computer. Stop updating. Like, damn, I've never seen a PCs update all the damn time. Jeez. Stop. Hammer time. Hey, I don't know why it continues to update. Usually there's like a little prompt to thingamajiggy for me to look into. But it ain't here right now. So it is what it is. I can't tell it to, make the sounds work. But make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. All right, leave a 5-star rating. Don't forget to join the Patreon for your exclusive 49ers content from your boy Wayne Breezie. The Twitch is right there below. All right, you can subscribe for free with your Amazon Prime account. Don't forget to follow, subscribe on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the Wayne Breezie. As you can see, we're doing some updates, whatever. The website is out there. Don't forget to check out the new apparel. All right, you can go to the website, right on the front page of the website. If you want to copy some Wayne Breezie apparel, we got new colors. We're doing an NBA segue. So if your favorite NBA team, we got those colors coming out right now. I know the Celtics is up there. The Los Angeles Lakers colors are up there. We're going to be doing more. Shout out to my man Ty. All right. But if you want the link, there it is, www.twben.com/shop. All right. And don't forget to check out the latest news, okay, from 49erswebzone.com. And as far as our sponsors, we're sponsored by Residency. So make sure you go to www.residency.com if you want an exclusive Residency hat. All right. That's worn by your boy Breezie right here. All right. So go ahead and the promo code works. All right. So use the promo code SF Breezie and save on your purchase today. And don't forget, if you want to get some of those new shades and those new links and things like that, make sure you go ahead and go to Zenni Optical. All right, there's a link in the description of the show. You can click on it right there to take you right there. You can copy some of them good old fresh, hold on, let me show you how fresh they are. These are my I call these the red and gold blockers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you put these on, I mean, it's really dark, man. These are definitely made for the sun. All right. So you can see the Zenni right there. So make sure you guys go ahead and click on the link in the description of the show, man. Copy some Zennis. All right. They're the official 49ers glasses, man. You don't want to miss out on these. All right. So make sure you do that. All right. A lot of things I'm looking to bring back. Shout out to our sponsors and everything. We're going to be bringing back the phone line this week. All right. So bear with me, because I'm trying to get this audio situation situated. All right. So maybe after a couple of episodes or a couple of hours in the show, the audio will kick back in at some point. All right. Let me make sure I got all the same buttons pushed. All right. So I don't know why you guys can't hear the foghorn, but there it is. All right. I played it again. If you don't hear it, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out how to rewire the actual hardware mixer to the computer. That's the only thing. All right, so let's get down to the get down. All right, today's episode is going to be cool. We're going to talk about the latest in 49ers news. Christy Marie gave me a thumbs up. Did you hear the foghorn? That you heard it? I don't know. Or maybe she was giving a thumbs up. Tara Dome gave something. I don't know. Did you guys hear a foghorn? I heard a foghorn. You did hear the horn. Okay. Can we test something out? You guys are my testers. Can we test something out? I'm going to turn this button off and tell me if you hear the foghorn now. I just played it again. Did you hear the foghorn then? If not, I know exactly what the issue is. Damn it, you heard it again? I know. I can't tell if you're right. Okay. Bump the that's a no. Can't tell Avatar if that's a yes or a no. I'm not sure what that is. I tell you what, let me know. No horn. Thank you, Symmetry. It's the USB through button. Remind Breezie to turn on the USB through button. Round of applause for everybody out there. Uncle Scott, what's going on, family? Listen, since we're in the mood of testing, all right, I'm going to get this link out here because I'm going to do a phone show this week, and I got to make sure that the phone thing works with this particular setup. All right, so I'm hoping and I'm praying that it works properly. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out there at some point during the show. But let's get down to the 49ers news. We do have our first super chat. I'd like to do the first super chat contribution. Guys, if you want to give super chats, please do so. After the first one, I'm going to save them for the end of the show, all right? Jacqueline Knox says, good morning, Breezie. Good morning. You being funny. Okay. I got you, Jack. I see you. But thank you for the contribution. But I got you, Jack. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't hear the foghorn. Okay, I'm confused. All right. I don't know. I pushed the button in and then it worked. The button was in when y'all said y'all heard it, and I'm confused if y'all heard it or whatever. I don't know. Any birthdays out there? Just curious. We got any birthdays on today? If not, oh well. Just curious. I don't understand. Like, did you hear the foghorn that time? Damn it. We've been talking about Foghorn for 9 minutes and 43 seconds. I'm just trying to make sure I get it right because the only time I can test it, it was the USB through button. So Robert says he heard it. Okay, Symmetry said he heard. Okay, I'm gonna tape the button, make sure it stays in. Boom, there it is. Thank you, Trav. I feel. Hey, Trav, I gotta hit you up because we got to work out. We're gonna be doing a show. Speaking of show, I'm working on something with Travis King. Make sure you guys are following him and everything that he's doing. Yo, this dude is doing huge things out there for the community. I saw your commercial with Gold Bar. That was top notch, bro. I hope you know how to make that drink for real. And that just wasn't for the commercial, but that junk looked blazing. But I tell you what, around May, I should be able to drink again. So I can't wait to check that out. So me and Trav, we're gonna be putting something together. And myself and my boy Raj, we're looking to do a show. Now we got a title. It's called the R&B Show. All right. And so we're looking to air that on Wednesdays. Make sure you guys are supporting to RSF 49ers. It's my boy Raj. Him and I are gonna be doing a weekly show every Wednesday. All right. I'm not sure if we're starting in this week or if we're starting in April, but we'll figure it out and we'll get it out to you. Okay. So make sure you guys are supporting those guys out there, man. More content creators, all the content creators in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys. And I definitely want to do more to support you. All right. That's my goal for right now. Let's talk about the latest in 49ers news. All right. All right. So some things happened over the weekend. The 49ers had another signing. You got the Deebo Samuel's dummy year contract situation popping up. And let's start with that. Let's start with Deebo. All right. Deebo Samuel's dummy 2027 contract year option. So the 49ers have until today, okay, to exercise this. All right. This is from ML Football on Twitter. Update. Today's the last day for the San Francisco 49ers to exercise an option for star wide receiver Deebo Samuel's dummy 2027 contract year per CBS Sports. A $9.215 million payment is necessary to pick up the option. If the option is declined, and then there's probably more to say that ended up getting cut. Wait, let me see if it's cut off by this damn banner. If the option is declined, okay, here we go. Samuel's 2023 base salary is $10.295 million, which is already fully guaranteed instead of $1.08 million. Let's talk about this. Do you think the 49ers are going to exercise the option or decline the option? What are your thoughts? Exercise the option or decline the option? Thumbs up for exercise, thumbs down for decline. I'm curious to know how you guys feel about this. This is an option where the 49ers, Deebo is going to make guaranteed money. As you can see, I'll put it back up there. He's going to make some guaranteed money. Whose birthday did I miss too, by the way? He's going to make some guaranteed money. It's going to be really cool. Happy birthday, Alex. Today's Alex's birthday. Hey, happy birthday. Oh, wait a minute. We got to take a quick pause for Alex because it's her birthday. It's Alex's birthday. Okay, so here we go. My voice is raw. Pause. Had a rough singing week. It's like when I sing in church, I go extra hard for some reason. Pause again. But I tell you what, I'm going to do it for you. Let me just find the key. Happy birthday to everybody else. We'll come back to you, Deebo. Sorry, you're important, but Alex is more important than Deebo at this moment because today is her special day. You ready, Alex? Let me see if I can get the Teddy P voice going on because it's a little raspy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alex. Happy birthday to you. I couldn't get the falsetto going because it's going to crack, but I gave you a nice little happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed it. Round of applause for Alex's birthday. Jacqueline, today's your birthday? All right. I hope you enjoyed Alex's birthday song. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to Jacqueline Knox as well. I didn't know. You know what I mean? Dion, what's going on, fam? What's going on, baby? Oh man, what a fun time. Let's get back to Deebo though. I missed the thumbs ups and the thumbs downs. But the 49ers, I see Dion saying thumbs up. He thinks that the 49ers exercises the option. I believe that's what he's talking about. Again, it's worth 9 point something million. And I think the 49ers, he's guaranteed the $1 million according to what the statement said, right? So it says he'll get a 9 if the 49ers exercise the option. Okay, the 49ers, it'll be $9.215 million. If the option is declined, his base salary is a little bit higher. So if I'm the team, I feel like I could save a little bit of money. You know what I mean? Right? Don't you feel that way? I'm not. I feel that way. You can save a little bit of money. Okay. So I kind of think that the 49ers may go ahead and decline the kid. I mean, exercise the option. They'll save $1.8 million. He's still going to get guaranteed the bread. So we'll see what happens. I personally don't want to touch Deebo, but if it's a way for them to save a few dollars, why not? You know what I mean? I'm no expert on the contract situation, but I'll try to bring in somebody who may have a little bit more insight on the contract situation. You know what I mean? So that's the news with Deebo. Didn't think we would have any Deebo Samuel news, but today the 49ers have to make a choice. They're going to exercise that dummy year option, which won't, that 2027 type of money. All right. Let's talk about the 49ers. They signed DB Miles Hartsfield, former Carolina Panther defensive back. They signed him. They brought him to the team. Again, man, the 49ers are definitely making sure that they take care of the defense. Steve Wilks's defense is pretty much on point, right? They've brought in depth. They got him depth on every level, just except for linebacker. They haven't addressed the linebacker. They actually lost the linebacker, but they re-signed Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, right? Who I think will probably be the Sam linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers in 2023. But there's some other options there. I think we drafted guys as well. But his defense got stacked. He got Tashawn Gibson back as a safety. And then he got a couple of pieces. Isaiah Oliver, DB, guy could play in the nickel. Guess what? Miles Hartsfield can play nickel as well. This is interesting too, because I was curious, they lost Tavarius Moore. He ended up signing to the Green Bay Packers. And now you bring in Miles Hartsfield, right? Who kind of a lot of people were saying is going to replace, the Tarvarius Moore situation. But the thing you get from Miles Hartsfield is this. And I was doing my homework, because that's what Breezie does. When I'm not doing shows, like I'm not doing the content shows and things like that, I actually do homework on, like, I'm not just up here just talking. All right. So I was doing my homework and I was sitting here saying, like, what does this kid, bring to the table? All right. He had 45 solo tackles, 7 assisted. So you do the math. That's what, 52. All right. He had 13 stops in the backfield. Okay. 13 stops, 9 missed tackles. That's a problem. Passer rating allowed 127.4. This is all per PFF. And then yards per reception was 11.2. So clearly he lined up in the nickel. That's kind of like where he played. Okay. Now, what was interesting, I'm sitting here looking at his stuff, and I wanted to really check out his missed tackle rate, because, as a nickel back with the 49ers, the one thing you got to be able to do is tackle. That has to be, pretty spot on, in my opinion. But here's the thing you're going to get from this kid. You're going to get versatility. And as I was watching some film on him, the one thing I do like about, when I say versatility, I mean, listen, he could play, he'll play safety. He could play safety. Like, really, he could literally play safety. He lined up 256 times as a free safety, 141 times as a box safety, and 343 times in the slot. So you're going to get a really good versatile piece. And here's the thing. He's a big hitter, right? He's trying to dislodge the ball. He didn't have any forced fumbles last season, but if you look at the way he plays, he's playing ball, right? And that's dope, because now you got another smart person on this team doing what? Trying to create turnovers. It's kind of one of the things I like about what the 49ers were doing. You can see all these training videos. You got Fred Warner, Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles. You got Dre Greenlaw. They out there practicing with MJ Hamid, right? They're getting training. They're doing boxing training. Why? They're working on their hand coordination. Like, how can we punch this ball out? How can, even though we tired, even though we going through the fire, how can we still lay a blow that's gonna knock somebody out, knock the ball out in particular? So this is really good. I think I like this about the San Francisco 49ers. I put with this kid. I was watching a couple of like I said, watching him on film. The one thing that I'm noticing that he's really playing like tight coverage. Oh, and here's the most important part of these DBs. I told you Isaiah Oliver had 0 penalties last year. He only had 2. The 49ers are bringing in very well disciplined players on defense. Pay attention. Pay attention. I say this every time. If you want to be somebody, and if you want to go somewhere, then you better wake up and pay attention to what they're doing. The 49ers are painting a picture. And all these players got to do is just fill it in with the colors. Let me bring on the resident GM right now. Hey, what's going on, Playboy? I like the hat. What team is that?
Could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud
All
and
right.
clear.
It's no team. It's actually a place I went to yesterday. It's called Gringos.
Yeah.
It's a taco spot in Jersey City. And to be honest with you, I got absolutely ripped yesterday. And I'm hung the hell over right now, and I'm here. So what's up?
I can tell that you're a little disoriented because I didn't get my usual good morning from you today. It came in like 10:30 a.m. That's a little late for Tony. You know what I'm saying?
I woke up. I had to get the kids to school because my wife wasn't feeling good because she was all from yesterday too. And I was like, yo, I'm not going to work today. So I texted my supervisor. I was like, listen, I said, is there any possible I can get off today? Like, go ahead, put it in. You're good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So we're talking about the signing of Miles Hartsfield. Not sure if you got a chance to check out some of his film or any of his highlights or things like that. What were your initial thoughts of the signing of Miles Hartsfield?
Yeah, I noticed he was with Carolina last year, and as soon as the offseason started, when the teams had the deadline to make sure to see if they're going to tender anybody, and a tweet came out from one of the writers and said he was untendered. So I knew it. He's a secondary guy. Wilkes is our defensive coordinator, coached him there. It was a lock for him to come to San Francisco, and they finally made it official yesterday. I think this has been in the works for a long time. I think they were in on somebody else in the free agency market that didn't pan out for them, and then they just finally, announced his signing.
Yeah, look, you're bringing in another DB that could potentially play in the slot. And so I'm saying to myself, they got a slot competition thing going on right now because you already signed Isaiah Oliver. That was kind of like your big free agent signing.
Yeah.
That they made the announcement. He had the videos and all that type of stuff. And now they went on and got a guy who didn't get tendered from the Carolina Panthers. Now this might be one of those Steve Wilkes types of guys.
Yeah.
Because he played under Steve Wilkes, right? And so you're saying to myself, okay, like when you compare them stat wise. Yeah, I mean, they're relatively close in stats. I would say that you're going to get more versatility out of Miles Hartsfield because he can play both safety positions. He can play the DB, and the key thing is special teams because what are we looking on special teams? Tarvarius Moore. Where did he play on special teams? Well, he was a gunner. And so let's talk a little bit about like how this is going to help our special teams coordinator, Brian, forget his last name, something, whatever. But how does this help him out?
I think it helps them tremendously, right? Like if you look at the way the 49ers run their offseason, if they lose somebody, they have somebody. Mm-hmm. And it's not usually hold on. It could be somebody that has been on the roster, but they also like to add a piece, right? So now they're not desperate. It might not be like a person where, for example, we'll use him as a perfect example. They're adding a piece to replace Tarvarius Moore, like you said. So now it's not like, oh my God, who's the backup safety? They added that piece, and now that gives them the flexibility to say, okay, we could still play the free agency market, or we just look at it in the draft. So it gives them the ultimate flexibility to make a decision. We could go with this guy, add another piece in the draft or free agency, and that's the way this team operates year in and year out.
Yeah, man. And it's just they're just always replenishing, right? Like that they're trying to be a fine, well-oiled machine, like that just keeps churning out the players. Okay, we're gonna lose this guy in free agency. Give me 3 or 4 options that we can kind of just replace this guy and fill this void. And again, Tony, 90 men is what the number is, right? It's a 90-man roster that the 49ers have to get to narrow it down to 53. So guys, don't think everybody that comes in is going to be a starter, but you can't pencil them in. You can't say it's a pencil potential type of situation because we don't know what's going to happen at camp. We don't know who's going to go out there, outplay a person. We don't know if we're going to deal with any type of the I words that I don't want to bring up, the word that starts with the I, and I know you know what I'm talking about, but that can happen, right?
Yeah,
And
it
so
could.
yeah, and we don't know. So that's why you get the best 90 men in camp. And the 49ers got to be at what, 60 by now? I think they're at least at 60. I think with Miles is 60, right?
Yeah, I think they're floating 59 or 60 right now. And
Yeah,
even so, like let's say I don't think they're done. I still think maybe 1 or 2 or 3 pieces are going to be added. Nothing crazy. So don't expect like pretty much the first wave of free agency is done, right?
okay.
Now we're working on the second wave, which equals like, second and third wave. Like, you take a shot on this guy. Could there be a kicker added? I do. Could there be a pass rusher added? I do. Because I think their main objective before they hit that draft, they want to add a piece to every open position that they have on their roster or every open hole or question mark that they have on the roster. So now they go into the draft and then they have full flexibility. If someone starts to fall, they can jump up. If there's someone there, but they feel, listen, we added this piece, we're okay right now, we can move back a little bit, stockpile for next year, which I don't think they need to do because we're going to get a shit ton of
We're
comp
gonna
picks
picks
next year
next year. We're
too.
gonna have about 11 next year.
So
Yeah.
they have the flexibility to be active and go get somebody that they want, but then they can also move back and say, there's some more depth here. We can wait, which is good. That's what you want. And that's how these teams are successful. I'm going to tell you guys now, just keep your eyes open. Everyone should go, like, after we get off this show, or if you have a free minute during the day or at your work desk, just look at Spot Rack. Look at the 2024 free agency list. That's going to flip into this draft because now they draft them this year. They prep them this year. And if there's a free agent next year they can't afford, they take over next year.
Take over. Yeah.
That's the way they run. So just do yourself a favor, take a look at that list, and you go from there. And you'll be able to pretty much tell who could they be drafting position-wise.
So I tell you what, Tony, since I got you here, and I want to read Symmetry's comment because he says he thinks we have 62 under contract currently. So I tell you what, I'm on Spot Rack right now, and we're gonna hopefully Spot Rack is updated and we'll be able to tell. All right, Sim. So Sim is saying 62. I feel like we're at 60. I probably missed a couple of signings. And I'm with you, the 11 picks, because you want to count the actual picks that we have. You're assuming that the 49ers are going to draft 11 picks, right? And so that gives you 73, and then there comes your 17. I'm with you, Tony. I think we add a kicker or we draft a kicker, or we do both. We have the spots, because when you look at our roster, which we're going to talk about, we're going to focus today on the offensive line. When you look at the offensive line roster, there's 10 players. And people are like, 10? There's 10 players on the offensive line? Yo, there is. The 49ers technically have their starting 5 and their backup starting 5. So they have their 1 and their 2. And I think they're going to bring in probably 3 more players, right? And so we do this with the defense. We'll do this, as we get down to this mock draft today. It's going to be really interesting, Tony. So get ready, because Tony's here and we're moving up, Tony. Today we're moving on up, all right? Because I want to address the offensive line, Tony, and I want who the fuck I want. Hold on. I want who I want. I want to make sure the beep works. I want who I want. So we're going to have to figure it out. And today, that's what we're going to do after we finish the latest in the 49ers news. All right. So I want Tony to show everybody. He was talking about Spot Rack. Some people might not be, they may be a little unfamiliar with Spot Rack. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up for everybody so they can get a quick glance at what Spot Rack looks like. Let me go ahead and hide this comment. All right. And so let me blow this up just a little bit, make it a little bit bigger. All right. And so I went to 2024, Tony, and this is where we are. I don't know if you can see it. Let me know if you need me to make it a little bigger.
I can see. I also see a major problem right now if you scroll back up.
All right. So where's your major problem at?
You see that number that says
negative? I see it already. That means the 49ers next year will already be in the hole.
And I listen, I understand, this is an episode for another time, but this is the reason right here. You don't kick money down the road.
Tony, I love you, bro.
I'm just saying. Look, it's something because, like, not a lot of,
I
what,
know.
Wayne? I got to be honest with you. Not a lot of 49er fans experience that. Like, I'm
I understand.
43, and not a lot of people remember. Like, I
You're
remember when they
right.
signed Monty Montgomery to come play corner. The guy was like, I don't even know what he was doing.
You're right. You're 100% right. Listen, I ain't mad at you, bro. I'm just trying to enjoy. I just want to win. Like,
I hear you.
I just, and then I'll live with this negativity money, this negative money. We'll figure it out. But can I just say this though, Tony? The cap is going to go up again, and
Yeah,
so
and that's based off of, like, without the
TV
increase.
tracks, contracts, and stuff like that. Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm just saying, like, that -9 for next year that everybody's looking at, it's gonna will probably be on the plus side once the contract goes up. But in Tony's defense, you don't want to start the season in negative, because now you know how we watched a lot of teams have a bunch of great players get cut to get under the cap. Let's look at this. Let's do a quick. Let's look at this roster, Tony. Who do you feel like the 49ers, without any restructures, who would be a cap casualty? That's why you here, bro. Like, come on, man. Who do you see as a cap casualty? Talk your talk, bro.
I mean, listen, it's very early, but the Niners do have, and they do. I believe the Niners do have an opt out in Trent Williams' contract
They have
after
an
this
opt-out.
season.
Yep.
And it's not saying I'm for cutting him, but I do think there's a potential, if we do win it all, he rides out on top and he winds up retiring. So that frees up money there. There is a dead cap hit. I mean, you're looking at Kittle with the same thing. I mean, maybe they could just totally give Kittle a brand new deal. You got, I mean, now the red is, I don't know if these guys are accounted for on the cap, Ayuk and Kinlaw.
I don't think those two are, because we still don't know if they're going to be
They're
fifth-year
fifth-year
option yet.
options, yeah.
And so only one can be fifth-year option,
Yeah.
but I don't think, I don't know. Maybe they are, because you can't account Brandon Ayuk. Is he set to make 14 million?
That's his fifth-year option. And the bad part about it is that 14 million is fully guaranteed.
So then what I'm trying to say is I think they are accounted for, and that's what makes us in that red. So this is good. I'm glad you brought that up, because if Javon Kinlaw isn't here, you take away that $10.45 million, and guess where we're back at?
Yeah.
We're in
I hope you're right.
in the green.
I feel better now.
You know what I mean? I hope I'm right too, but I think it's all in the. I'm not going to sit here and add up all these numbers. But guys, this is just a quick exercise. I tell you what, I'll do an extensive breakdown. Maybe Tony and I get together. We'll do something for the Patreon, and we'll go through the 2024 depth chart and stuff like that, and free agency, and we'll give you guys a little insight on. I know it's a whole season ahead, but we'll give you a little bit more insight. But again, thumbs up or thumbs down on this signing, Tony?
Listen, it's a thumbs up right now. You're filling the spot. You lose Travarius Moore and you bring in Hartsfield. Not to mention he's from Sayreville, New Jersey, which is about a 15-minute car ride from where I live, 20-minute maybe. So we got to pull for him. We got to pull for the guy.
East Coast represent worldwide. You know how I am. I'm East Coast biased to the core, baby.
Now, I mean, do you see him start? Do you see him get significant snaps as a safety? I mean, I'm not banking on it, but I could see him become a key special teams contributor, and that's something huge.
Day one. Look, you improve the special teams. The one thing you want to continue to see trending, because right now the special teams, in my opinion, is the weakest link, because we don't have a kicker. Like, at the end of the day, we don't have a kicker. We don't have a kicker, and if it's not Robbie Gould, it's gonna be somebody new, and we're gonna be like, oh shoot, like, can they kick it? Like what are they gonna do? So that's the weakest link. It's funny because it's always the weakest link. Starting the start of a season, it's always the weakest link, the special teams unit. But I will say that the unit, your gunners, your other players on that unit is solid. So you get you a kicker, and immediately your special teams goes. You know what I mean? So we'll see. A couple of interests going on this past weekend. 49ers showing interest in free agent defensive back Lonnie Johnson Jr. I wanted to get your thoughts on Lonnie Johnson Jr., former Texan. What are your thoughts on this one?
He's a versatile guy. I think he played at Kentucky. Safety corner prospect, big, long armed. Speed, I think off the top of my head, he ran like a 4.4 at the combine. I mean, this is just shooting from the hip because as soon as I saw they were interested, I went back just to refresh my memory if it was the guy I was thinking about. And yeah, it was.
Second
So
round
he
selection.
offers you the versatility to line up in outside in safety. As of right now, it's still just interest. No offer was made. I do know he was in Seattle, but they chose to go with Jordan Love over, I think Jordan is his first name. The guy Love from the Giants.
Yes.
Over him.
Julian Love, right?
Julian Love. I actually like Julian Love. I would have loved to have him in San Francisco and, put him on the field somehow, some way. But this could be a potential, piece that could be added special teams wise in the back end. I tell you right now, everyone's hooked on this Isaiah Oliver to be just a slot guy. This guy offers you everything.
Versatility too. I was trying
inside,
to tell
outside. He could play deep. He had like 86 snaps as a safety at Atlanta.
We talked about it.
And this is a guy that I was very high on coming out of college. Like, the two of them were on the field at the same time, Witherspoon and Oliver. So now Witherspoon got drafted. Oliver came out the following year. And Oliver is that dude, man. He plays with that chip.
Edge too, yeah.
So, he's not afraid to hit. He comes up and run support, sticks to his keys and his run fits and all that stuff. So it's an interesting signing. And it's only strengthening the secondary. And the key factor of it all is you got to remember that's the same division of Steve Wilkes with Carolina. He saw this guy twice a year. So obviously he might have seen something that said, you know what? This could help the scheme when I go to San Francisco. Well, being here in San Francisco. So
100%. 100%. But notice what they're doing, though, Tony. Notice the players that they have interest in. All right. They're like 6 feet tall, right? Lonnie Johnson Jr. is 6'2". Okay. 6'2", 213, bigger kid. You talked about he was able to line up like everywhere. He free safety is what he plays. He plays safety, but he can play in the slot. He can play in the box. The 49ers, I wouldn't be surprised if they sign this kid. Like I wouldn't be surprised. You remember how they signed Kamoko Toure last year, kind of like right before the draft, and then he kind of lost his spot once they drafted Drake Jackson. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can see them getting a undrafted safety or a late round safety, bring this kid in, have him come and compete. He gives you experience at the safety position. He's been in the league for 4 years, going into his 5th year, and it's a possibility that he might be able to take over, for Tashawn Gibson after his deal. So this is going to be interesting to see what the 49ers do. I actually like the fact that they're interested in him. The 49ers are also meeting with players, Tony, at their pro days, and they were at the Michigan pro day the other day. And then Tony's smiling because he knows where I'm going with this. But the 49ers, because a lot of people be telling me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I specifically didn't put this video out because everybody would say, oh, Breezy's a homer, this is that and the third. But look who the 49ers met with. Now, I talked to Ronnie Bell and I text you the day at the combine that I just spoke to Ronnie Bell. Tell me I'm lying. And I asked Ronnie about playing for the Niners and his face lit up. Now, what are your thoughts? They're meeting with a bunch of players. This was a formal meeting. This wasn't informal. It was a formal meeting at his pro day. He did not run the 40 at the combine, but he tested well at the combine. And his 3-cone drill was extremely, quick. Again, we may have new people to the stream, Tony. Please explain why for certain positions, maybe the majority of them, why does Kyle Shanahan pay attention to the 3-cone drill?
Footwork, explosion in and out of the cuts. That's basically what it is. It's your ability to, like, when you're on the line of scrimmage, you do your chop and then you do your release. Like you do, you pat your feet and then go. That shows you your foot speed and it shows you your explosion in short spaces. So the one rep that sticks out to me, and I see it over and over in my head, and when you text me that, and then I watched the game, you saw him do it in the game. And you saw his explosion. He made he got jammed off the line of scrimmage. He ran like a quick out or like a elongated out route. And hands go up, catch the ball, 2 feet down, he made a catch. So he's a slot guy. Right? That's what I see him as. He's not a bigger dude. As of now, I see him coming in as potentially as a slot guy who's got good footwork and was jammed and still had the ability to continue with his route. So
he talk about
Ronnie Bell.
He talk about BBD, bro. I feel you. Ricky was Ricky Bell from BBD, but Ronnie DeVoe. You put them together, you get Ronnie Bell. That's funny. I bet you that's why how his mama and daddy named him Symmetry. Now that I think about it, he was named after BBD, New Edition. But no, seriously, here's the thing I like about this kid, right? Adversity. And think about a lot of the players that the 49ers really like to target, man. Kids that just go through stuff and overcome. So he got injured, not this past season, but the year before. He tore his ACL on the first play of the game. It was like a 75-yard gain and tore his ACL. Like, the kid has big play ability, especially in college. Tony said that if he comes to the NFL, he'll be a great slot guy. I just want to remind everybody that Ray McCloud's on the last year of his contract. All right. Jawan Jennings, last year his contract was only a 1-year deal that they signed him for.
See how 49ers
and Tony said that the moment he jumped in, how things work. They're ready to take a player and make sure that they have the replacement ready to go when it's time for the replacement to be replaced. Just pay attention to what's going on. So, will he be a pick? I think he'll be there later in the draft because I think his draft stock didn't fall. It's just that depends on what type of receiver you're looking for. I don't think there's too many one wide receivers out there, and slot receivers don't really get drafted high. That's just what they are. It's like nickelbacks. They don't get drafted high. They're like the extra receiver out there on the field. Usually it's 2 wide outs. You know what I'm saying? And a tight end, a running back, and a fullback. Your regular, typical, personnel. But then when you come in with 3 wideouts, 1 tight end, 1 running back, it changes the things. It changes things. That's your 11 personnel. So, like, I think Ronnie Bell may just be just keep your eyes on him. It's a possibility. I know people don't want him from Michigan because they say that he's going to be a bust. Ambry Thomas. I will say this about Ambry. Ambry didn't play his last year in college due to COVID. And then he got drafted. The 49ers traded up to him. And he came in his rookie year and he struggled. And then he blossomed. I don't know how or why, but he did. And then his sophomore year, he was dealing with a lot of injuries. Is he a bust? We'll find out this year. I think that's how I look at it. What are your thoughts on Ambry Thomas, Tony?
I don't know. I don't know what to think about him. I mean, you saw him play well in his first year when he was forced into action. Comes back for year 2 as an offseason, and then you don't see him. Lenore takes over. So it's kind of like, Lenore came in first and Thomas took the field. Now Thomas is thinking he's coming in, but Lenore comes in. Now what happens to Thomas? And Thomas, I don't even think did Thomas see the field at all this year?
He did. He did. He was special. He did come in for a couple of stats. I could pull up his stats while you talk.
No, it's fine. You don't have to. I just, off the top of my head, I knew you played special teams. But now my question to you is this a glass opportunity for Thomas?
Yeah, I mean,
we're bringing in Wilkes, who specializes in defensive backs,
which will help make him a little bit better. Because remember, what was Thomas's strength coming out of Michigan? It was press man, right? Like, that's
he was a press man guy, and
that was
even when the Niners went to a press man look.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, he struggled with it because probably in his head he's all about playing. He played back off. He backed off 25 yards.
I think his biggest issue is confidence.
It could be that. And I think he really struggled in zone concepts, bro. There was zero zone concepts with that Michigan defense. Zero. That's just not how they play defense. They manned you up.
With that being said, I think this is like sink or swim for him.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to get it out of him, Steve Wilkes. And if Steve Wilkes don't keep him around, it tells you that he can't make that step, to the next level.
And that's why I said it'll be fair after this year to say if he's a boom or a bust. Like, you know what I'm saying? My man What says no more Ambry excuses. It's not an excuse. I mean, he was injured. Dude played 41 snaps last year.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't see the field. He couldn't see the field. And by the time he did get healthy, the other guys were blossoming. And Deommodore Lenoir took a big leap. I mean, I watched Deommodore Lenoir get burnt like toast, like butter plate toast in his rookie year. Like Eagles game. Name a game he didn't get burnt. And
no, you're 100% right.
Then his sophomore year, he comes in and makes the jump, and then everybody's screaming for him. So it's all about what they do like now. As far as Ambry Thomas, I don't want to say he's a bust as of yet. If like Tony said, if Steve Wilkes can't get the best out of him, then I think then you move on from a third round pick. I mean, it was a third round pick. It was a comp pick at that. Like you move on from it. Like, you know what I mean? It's all good. It's all good. All right, man. That's the latest in 49ers news, Tony. I want to talk about this offensive line. The 49ers chose to address the offensive line in two ways this free agency season, bro. All right. And they had nothing to do with bringing people in. They literally re-signed some of their players. You got Colton McKivitz re-signed as particularly being your starting right tackle. And then they re-signed your center, Jake Brendel. So my starting offensive line, Tony, and you can disagree with it if you want, is going to be Trent Williams at left tackle, Aaron Banks at left guard, Jake Brendel at center, Spencer Burford at right guard, and Colton McKivitz at right tackle. What are your thoughts on my starting five?
That's what I think it is right now. And that's what I think the four are penned in, inked in, and the right tackle's penciled in. And I think that's the way they're going to roll. I do think they add a piece in the draft. They could even add a guy in free agency that could be lurking closer to the draft. Or if they feel that, they don't get the guy they want in the draft, they come out of the draft and immediately sign a veteran. That's going to tell you what they thought about the draft class. So there's a ton of talent in this draft class that the team's been snooping around, talking to, meeting with. I don't have the list in front of me. But the number one thing that you said that I really, really like about this whole situation is 4 to 5 positions are returning, and your interior, which is really important for cohesion. Oh God, playing on the same page and gelling.
That's a great word, cohesion. That's the
best I guess word. I could say cohesion. They play together, so they know where they're going to be. They know what they're going to do on situations, and that's what you want. Continuity, that's the word. They have that continuity between each other, and that's huge. And that's one thing that we were kind of like last year, but it worked out okay. And that's a big step going into this offseason, knowing that you only have one spot out of the 5 that need to be filled. And technically, he's not an outsider. This guy knows what is required from from playing the offensive line in the system, playing for this coach and all that. So, like Sim just said in the chat, it's McKivitz's job to lose. So I agree with that 100%. I think he'll do all right. I really do. Every time he stepped on the field, he played okay. But now let's see if he could transition to being a full-time starter. And if that's the case, and they can hit on this, you have him under contract for 2 years.
2 years.
At minimal money.
Yes, sir.
So now you want to talk about wiggle room?
You just save money. You got you a starting right tackle for like $4 million.
Yeah. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Now, what you ask yourself is like, if the people are saying like, why didn't they re-sign McGlinchey? So what you're going to have to do here is you're going to have to take McGlinchey and you're going to have to take McKivitz and a side-by-side, statistics, starts, whatever, penalties, sacks given up, pressures given up, production. And you say, is Colton McKivitz, I think he's on the books for, $2.5 million this year, McKivitz. And I think McGlinchey signed for $18 million. Is that a $15.5 million? Is
it worth it? Like
is it worth the $15.5 million to keep McGlinchey, or would you rather save the $15.5 and keep McKivitz because they're that close in their play? So, granted, he holds the first round title, but that's what we got to look at. And I think the Niners made the right decision by not going after McGlinchey, and it's nothing against him. I'm happy for him. Thank you for being a Niner. Thank you for performing hurt. I love it. Congratulations for you to get in the bag. But you got to remember, the NFL is a business. It's not a friendship. So that's why I think McKivitz is here and McGlinchey's in Denver.
And so I'm glad you said that, because as I'm looking at the other 5 offensive linemen on the roster, and I forgot to mention Alfredo Gutierrez, so it would make 11. But he, for some reason, he automatically makes the roster because they have that program going on. So I'm not sure
international player,
international program. So there's a total of 11. right? But it doesn't count against your roster spot, right? And so that's why I said 10 in total, but there's totally in totality there's 11. So let me go back. So left tackle, I said Trent Williams. I believe his backup would be Jalen Moore. And then left guard, Aaron Banks, I have his backup as Jason Poe. And then center, there's a center on the roster. His name is Keith Ishmael. All right. So he would be the backup to Jake Brendel. Okay. Right guard's backup would be Nick Zakil. Right. And then your right tackle backup. A lot of people are not too familiar with this name, but the 49ers did sign a right tackle, and his name was Leroy Watson. So there's another player, and they're saying that he has some really high upside. So we'll see. And then you have Alfredo Gutierrez, who's a tackle, period. He probably left or right. We'll see how it works out, going forward or whatever. But those are your 11 linemen. Now, Tony, there are many ways that the 49ers can address and if they're going to look at alignment, I think they're still going to look at that right tackle. But the question is, what are they willing to pay for a right tackle? Because they already paid Colton McKivitz. How much more do you think? Because you mentioned free agent, and that is actually one of the options inside the poll question. Will they sign a free agent? You got to give me a free agent off the top of your head, or pick a person. I'll give you time, who you think that will fit financially to the San Francisco 49ers. They're not cheap. They're just,
oh God,
they spend their money wisely. If I should say, that's how they do it.
All right, gun to my head, forcing me to make a decision. I would take a look at Billy Turner.
Okay.
For the right tackle spot. Played in Green Bay. And to be honest with you, if you go back and you legit watch some of those Green Bay films, Billy Turner held his own. I'm not saying he shut down the 49ers pass rush. By all means, no. But he played a solid game. He's a mobile tackle. He has the ability to get out in space. He's pretty decent as a pass blocker. He proved and showed, that he can anchor. Is it successful 100% of the times? I'm not willing to go there. But he has experience. And he was with Denver last year, was the actual starter before he got hurt. And then obviously he was out for the year, so he lost his starting job. But, you're talking about cost efficient for, a high return, right? Correct. And I think Billy Turner could come in and compete and potentially, I'm not saying McKivitz could beat him out. I'm telling you, McKivitz could beat him out. But if McKivitz struggles a little bit, I would look to bring in a veteran like Billy Turner on the cheap, former North Dakota State player. The Niners like North Dakota State. They poked around with Trey Lance and stuff like that.
I got my eye on a North Dakota State player right now, dog. All right, keep going.
So, you know what I'm saying. So
I do.
So that's an option, and I think that could be a pretty damn legit option for cost. And that's a signing potentially you could see maybe post draft, right after the draft.
Ooh.
They pick up a veteran, and they say, "Let's go, guys." Compete.
So smart.
The winner comes out.
So spot on. Can I add an option to your option? You ready for this? It's going to scroll across the bottom of your screen. Can you see it?
Not Tom Compton?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, you bring Tom back?
Why not bring Tom back, bro?
You could.
He played really well during the season. Mike McGlinchey got hurt. I would say
that's fair.
He held up at his own. He'll be relatively cheap. He'll probably come in and compete with Colton McKivitz. He's a guy that's familiar with Kyle Shanahan's offense. He doesn't have to learn much, and he will have continuity. He'll probably be easier to build the continuity with the guys here, and that's key to the offensive line. Because if you want them to be tight with the cohesiveness, then they got to be able to know how each other moves. Like when they move, we move, just like that. That's continuity. And so when it comes to that, why not bring in Tom? I knew that's why I love Tony, man. People think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, bro.
I will say there's a dark horse that I want, and I don't think it's going to happen because I think he's going to cost a little bit more, or he's asking for a little bit more money. And I would love to see Isaiah Wynn in San Francisco. He's very young. He showed that he could play left and right tackle. But the main problem with this guy is injuries. My man cannot stay on the field.
New England was terrible because of that. Really great player. You talk about Isaiah Wynn, really good tackle. I mean, could play left and right equally well. right? But he couldn't stay healthy. I don't think the 49ers bring in those players anymore, bro. It just seems like they've weaved those type of players out of their system, Tony. And so it unless hold up, you give me the low risk, high reward type of contract. Hey man, you want to play for $3 million? You know what I'm saying? It's a low risk, and if you get something out of him that's really good, boom. And then you talk about something in the future, but he can't stay healthy, man. And that's his only downfall. But like I said, definitely can play really well. I want to get to this contribution real quick from our sister Tanya. What's going on? She says, good morning, bro. I'm off today, so I can catch you live. Foghorn to you. Damn foghorn working now, dog. I know it is. All right. Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate the super chat contribution. Thank you so much. And let's get to a couple of questions. All right. So Samuel F. Blackwell, he's over on Facebook. He says, can Trey Lance throw the ball from the pocket effectively as Purdy, Jimmy, who they had, and Darnold, who they have now? So he wants to know particularly about Trey Lance throwing from the pocket effectively. What are your thoughts on that? Because Purdy, in my opinion, is the most efficient quarterback on the roster. He was the most efficient quarterback on the roster last season, and I think he's still the most efficient quarterback. So what are your thoughts on this question?
He's going to have to prove that. And the thing is, like, you know, I kind of feel bad for Trey Lance. And it's not – I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying he wasn't brought to the right situation with Kyle and the offense around him. But I'm just going to say this. He kind of got the raw deal. When you invest in a player of that magnitude to go up and get him, and you know they show that he's their guy, he should have took over from week one, because now, like from day one, because now, you know, you tease him a little bit, then you take him out. You tease him a little bit, then you take him out. Jimmy Garoppolo should have been gone at that point, and they should have let Trey develop. And I know the whole issue with that is the team was ready to win. Yes. It is a Super Bowl contending roster. Yes. Kyle might have been afraid to put him in day one and risk losing games because of him. Yes. And that is why I say I feel bad for Trey, because of the situation that he got drafted in. Now look at the guy who went right in front of him. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, right? Day one, he took over, and the stage was too big. Now they're trying to bring in Aaron Rodgers to be that quarterback, right? So my whole point of this is he just got put into the wrong situation. I know the Niners tried to find their guy and solidify their future at the quarterback spot, but I'm just going to put it this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to finish this conversation with this right now. I don't give a shit who it is. If it's Trey Lance, if it's Purdy, or if it's Darnold, by the end of this year, that's the quarterback going forward. There's no more musical chairs. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. Right. And unfortunately, the way I see it, and it's not a knock against Trey. The problem is Brock Purdy put it on tape. Brock Purdy got to the NFC Championship game. Brock Purdy probably would have made it to the Super Bowl if his arm didn't get hit out of such freak incident and not that play. Okay? That's the issue here. And that's why, in my opinion, it's not against Trey, because when Trey was drafted, I was like, yeah, this is the guy, you know, pro style offense, you know, young. He's a first one in, last one out type of guy. He's excellent between the ears. But unfortunately, Brock Purdy did it. Trey's yet to do it. And that's why Trey is in the back seat right now. As of now, Brock Purdy could miss more time. He might not be ready for September. And if that's the issue, that's a blessing for Trey. But I will tell you this is his last opportunity. I think it's his last chance to prove that he could be the guy going forward.
I mean, mainly because they can move on from his deal and not get hit as much. You know what I'm saying? They could trade him, is what I'm trying to say. Like, they can probably offer from trade and get something in return, right? And so I don't think they do it this year, because I think the 49ers too want a full type of assessment. And that's why I think they go with Trey Lance. I think they want to see, all right, we saw what Brock can do. Let's see what Trey can do. We need this assessment. Number one, can he stay healthy? Can he come out here? Is he going to be as efficient as Brock? Not now, probably. Well, maybe he does. Maybe he comes out efficient as F. We don't know. The issue with Trey Lance isn't Trey Lance. The issue was Kyle Shanahan. Yeah. Like, Kyle Shanahan messed the whole situation up because he Kyle, in my opinion, didn't want his clock to start ticking. What do I mean by that? Well, his job.
To be honest with you, Breezy, if let's just say this surgery didn't have to happen, and let's say Trey made it to the Super Bowl, they've lost. I mean, not Trey, Brock. I think Brock's the guy going forward.
It looks like it.
Because and I don't think that has anything to do with the clock, because you want to know why?
Well,
They hit on Brock in the 7th round.
But his clock. Okay, so let me just rewind it, because I'm talking about Trey's rookie year, and so
I thought you meant his time as a coach. Like,
no. So I did mean his time as a coach, but think about it. Why wasn't he starting Trey Lance? That's where Kyle, in my opinion, messed up the whole situation. Right. So it messed up his rookie season when Trey needed to get out there and get the work in. Right. That's when he needed to be out there. He needed to be out there that year. You wasted years on veterans. You wasted time. You can't get any of that back. And then Trey comes in his 2nd year, and that's when Kyle's clock started ticking. But what's saving Kyle's ass is the fact that they hit on Brock Purdy. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I really feel like that clock was tick, tick, tock, tick. It was he was delaying it as long as he could, because he still had a Jimmy Garoppolo. You know what I mean? But
no, I don't mean to go off topic right now, but I'm watching a Raider game and Danny Gray is fucking fast.
He's fast. It's time for it's Danny Gray time.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off topic.
No. This is what we do, Tony. Here's the thing about Danny Gray. If Danny Gray can learn the route tree, he will see the field so much more. If Danny Gray can learn how to get open, he will see the field so much more. And I'm not talking about open running and beating a DB or beating double coverage down the field, because if you don't have the quarterback to throw that ball in front of you, you're not going to catch that pass anyway. So he's got to figure out how to get open, how to get off bump and run coverage, how to get off this, how to get off press, he's got to figure it out. Yeah. If Danny Gray takes that step forward,
they got something. I swear to God, they got something, kid. But he's got, like you said, he's got to take that step. He's got to take that step.
He's got to take the step. All right, Tony. We talked about the offensive line. We answered a couple of questions. We got one more question from my man Rick. He says, Breezy, do you think we need help on the offensive line? What is your opinion? Well, I'm glad you're here because you lost Mike McGlinchey. And I know Mike didn't seem he was at his best all the time, but he played really good football for the San Francisco 49ers. So if you look at the right tackle position, you've declined because you don't know what Colt McKivitz is going to do. And if Colt McKivitz is our best option, we know damn well the other options that we have on the roster just aren't even up to his status. Maybe Jalen Moore and Colt McKivitz are neck and neck. We don't know much about Leroy Watson. We don't know much about what Nick Zakelj could do because he's never played a down in the NFL in his entire career. So we just don't know. Those are the unknowns. So do I think we need help in the offensive line? Yes, but I think we need help at particularly this one position. And this is what we're going to do right now, Tony. I'm going to pull up the draft. We're going to draft again. Tony's here. Tony, I got to use PFF because the other junk was just giving me headaches. It was too many, screens. And, yeah. I'm like, what the hell? So it was giving me too many headaches. And so we're going to head now, Tony. You're going to have to help me because I want to address the right tackle position and I don't want to wait, Tony. So talk to me. How can we get a right tackle like Cody Mauch, a right tackle like Darnell Wright, a right tackle? My third option will be Blake Freeland. I think those are my top 3.
You're going to have to go all the way up to round 2.
Okay, so let's do it. Can we do that? Can we try to get to round 2 today, guys?
You're the boss today. I'm just giving you advice. You're making the choices.
All right. So I'm ready to trade now. I want to move before this draft start. Okay. Now, and let me ask you this: your expertise. You're trying to move up to round 2. Do you do it during round 1 or do you wait till the second day?
Well, I mean, I think you definitely should wait it out and see how the draft is falling. I mean,
okay.
You don't want to jump and overpay to get just in the second round when the guy could trickle into the top of the 3rd.
So can we
if there's no run on right tackle, if there's no run on that position,
correct,
you can get a fall. But at least if you watch it and you start to see that run,
yes,
you make your deal.
All right, now if I start this draft, I can stop it and try to make that trade once round 2 hits, right?
I think so. I never used this one.
We gonna try it then. F it. You know what I mean? Let's
Yeah.
here we go. Let's start. Oh, yep, you can pause. Now let me know
Okay.
when I need to pause, Tony, because it's gonna go relatively fast.
You got to
All
tell
right,
me because I can't see this. It's
got you. All right, so let me try to blow it
if
up a
you
little bit
start
here.
seeing a run on tackles.
All right, I made it a little bit bigger. All right, let's
All right.
go and see who was taken. All right, I want to see which tackles were taken. Bryce Young went first. Anthony Richardson went second to the Texans. Will Anderson went to the Cardinals. I don't want him to go to the Cardinals. I really don't. CJ Stroud to the Colts. Jalen Carter to the Seahawks. Devon Witherspoon to the Lions. The Lions are really stacked. Raiders take Will Levis. Christian Gonzalez, cornerback, went to Atlanta. Tyree Wilson to the Bears. Miles Murphy. Here go your tackles. All right. Paris Johnson went to the Titans.
That's
Peter
one.
Skoronsky went to the Texans. All right. So
That's
far, 2
two.
tackles taken. All right. Quentin Johnson,
Three.
Joey Porter. All right. Here's your third tackle. Broderick Jones to the Steelers. That's 3 tackles, Tony. All right. The Dolphins had to forfeit their first round pick. We're still going. We're still going. We're still going. Tony Anton Harrison from Oklahoma went to the Steelers. So the Steelers got 2 tackles in this particular draft. All right.
Is there a possible way that on this screen where it says offer or trade, you can put the draft prospects up or no?
I don't think so. So you want to see who's available?
Yeah. Well, I guess you can't do that until
No,
you're
I have
picked,
to offer the trade first.
All right,
but
we'll just keep running.
You want me to keep the draft going, or do I try to trade?
I think you can keep the draft going.
Okay. I'm Tony, you making me nervous as shit. But all right, let's do it. Tell me when to stop.
Damn, that shit's fast.
I can't even
I
change
saw the kid from Tennessee went, right?
Okay, hold on. Let's go back up.
Yes, he's right there.
So Darnell Wright is gone. All right. And DeJuan Jones is gone. Now I have an option of being able to get a guy like Cody Mauch, Blake Freeland. Those are my other 2 guys that I want to look into. Am I trying to trade with one of these teams?
I think this is too high, in my personal opinion, for those 2 guys.
Okay.
If you're going to tell me like bottom round 2, high round 3, I'd be playing with that.
I think they're going to go in the 50s, bro. I think Mauch goes in the 50s. And we have an opportunity to get him.
Scroll down to the 50s.
Okay.
Like on the
so you
picture
can see
to the left.
Yep. Yeah. So you can see what they need.
Yeah.
All right. So you can see that Miami needs an offensive lineman. Chargers. Cody Mauch's going to one of those teams, bro. The Bengals.
All right. So listen, if you feel you're sold 100% on Mauch or Freeland, you strike a deal before you get. I mean, you see what sucks about this, and I don't like it. You can't see who's
available.
Yeah, that's what I don't like, but it's cool. It's fine. You could try calling Washington right now. You have a working relationship with Martin Mayhew and see what they get. You could drum up.
All right. So for the
47, you could offer 99.
Yep.
99.
Damn.
So you're all the way at the bottom. So you're going to have to probably forfeit another third. Maybe we don't have a 4th rounder either.
Nope.
So what you could do.
Damn. They want the picks.
Yeah, you could offer.
I see why you want to drop down a little bit later too. Guys, if I'm not paying attention to the chat, my apologies. I did slow down the speed a little bit of the draft. I'll make it even more slower. All right. You know what, Tony? How about we just keep it going?
How about this? Let's do one where you just let it run.
All right.
And let's see what falls to us, because I don't know how PFF does it. I can tell you pretty much how the ball forwards on the PFN and the other one. What's the other one?
The NFL mock draft simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So let it run. Let's see what falls to us.
All right, let's do it. Now I got it on super slow. Let me put that junk up a little bit.
Put that bitch on turbo.
Turbo. And they're gonna go into there. It is. I didn't even know they had a turbo option. Oh,
All right,
man.
so let's see. Let's hit the tackles. Let's file filter all. Go tackle.
All right. So you got Connor, Gavin, Luke. Yeah, all the guys that I think that can come in and start day one potentially are gone.
Yeah. See, I don't know. This game? Wow, they still have Warren there. See, I think Warren could be somebody of interest.
Okay.
Haggard, Galvin, I think is nice. He's a left tackle guy.
Yeah.
Someone you could bring in and groom for the future. But I think he's like a 5'6" guy, round 5, 4, and actually 4 or 5. You could probably McClendon's another guy that they looked at. Wanda Morris, that's someone I got my eye on. Wanda Morris,
Wanya, yeah.
See, but they have him ranked so low. But in like the other draft, if like
he's ranked higher.
EFN, if Wanda Morris is here at our first pick, I'm taking Wanda Morris at that pick, or potentially McClendon, or even the Saldiveri guy who could eventually take over the right tackle spot for the future. So it all goes on different rankings and different boards.
Mm-hmm.
But I see 3 competent guys that I would bring in right now where we are at 99.
Okay. So, but I'm cool with that, right? I still feel like if I needed a day, I want to bring in day one starting competition. That's the goal. I want to bring in day one starting competition. Do you feel like Carter Warren McClendon Curtis, and Wanya Morris or Nick Saldiveri can compete for that right tackle position on day one?
I would say Morris and McClendon probably could.
Probably
could. And I'm not saying take over starting.
We're gonna reset this. That's what we're about to do.
All right, yeah. Wait, right. Before you reset it.
Damn.
I was gonna say go see where Mark went.
You're right. Oh well.
But you're cool. That's cool.
All right, so let's reset it. I'm gonna move it down to medium slow, and I think we're gonna have to pick. If I want a Malk or Blake Freeland, it's gonna have to be second round.
You're gonna have to jump up probably mid to late second.
All right, let's try it. Let's see what happens this time on the go round. And it looks like it's gonna cost us 2/3 and something next year to move up into the 50s picks, bro.
I would package. My first offer would be 99, a 5th, and a 3rd next year, just to see where they come in at. That's all. You don't want to overspend right away. Maybe that takes the deal. That gets the deal done. You don't know, but we're gonna have
Cody Malk went to the Giants. I'm gonna stop it right here.
Okay.
So Malk went to the Giants.
Did the other guy go?
No. Blake Freeland is still on the board.
Okay, so now what you could do, let's see who the pick is in front of going into the 3rd round. Who's on the board right now?
It's Kansas City's on the board. They don't need a offensive lineman right now, but so the Bears do.
Okay, so I would go right now. I will call the Bears at the top of the 3rd.
Okay.
Go to the Bears. We'll offer them for number 64. We'll go 99, 155 in the 3rd next year. See if that'll get it done.
It looks like it'll get it done. Let's see if we can give them a fourth next year. Won't do it.
Okay, so how about this? If they're going to do that, it's that, it has a 94% chance of getting accepted. Let's see if we could take a 7th in return this year.
Okay, so you want me to still give up the 5th? I was going to try to give up something later.
No, we could do the 155.
I don't want to give up my 5th round picks.
Well, you're going to have to give up something to equal that out. So if you do,
right now, there's a 75% chance that they'll take my 6th round pick.
Try it. Offer it.
And I can get a 7th round pick in return. Should we try it?
Try it.
Bang! Let's go. The trade has been accepted.
All right, good. We're good. All right, so now you're on the clock. Resume the draft.
And they went. All right, so now Let's go get my left. Let's go get my tackle. Oop, wrong position. I got centers and stuff in here. Who do you see? Oh, Matthew Bergeron is there, bro. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. Met with Bergeron and his family. Great people. Oh man.
Breezie, this is your draft. You make this pick.
No.
Buddy.
No, you're not gonna do this to me, Ricky Bobby. Now
who's Ricky Bobby?
You've never seen Talladega Nights?
No.
Oh, fudge. You gotta watch Talladega Nights.
I think
I know you want to go Bergeron. I know you do.
Hold on.
Know.
Pull up, break free. Hit click break free.
I mean, the kid tested through the roof, Tony. I just feel like he is your. I mean, they both left tackles. They both have to come in and play right. They both have played right in 2020. How interesting is this?
I'm gonna tell you my biggest issue.
His pass blocking. I got you.
No, he plays high. I don't like 6'7", 6'8" tackles.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
Unless they're 340.
Say less. I'll stay away from him.
No. Hold on. Nope. Listen to me. This is your draft.
I know. But Matthew Bergeron is on the board, and I met with him, so I'm going with Matthew Bergeron. Sorry.
All right.
He's there. I moved up. I got us a tackle, and I got a potential, he could possibly move back to left tackle if your guy retires, Trent Williams. And so we still pick 102. Let's move this junk up to fast because it was all right. We back on the clock, bro. My main reason for this draft was moving up to get a guy that can come in and compete day freaking one. At that position, because I want to see if this kid can get beat.
Scroll down.
If McKivitz can get beat. Now, there's some edge guys I like. KJ Henry I like. McGuire I like. Who you thinking? I got my pick. Come on, Adam Peters. Who you want?
Interesting fact here. Well, I don't know if it's 100% fact. I was reading something. I just looked it up quick. Steve Wilkes, defensive coordinator, Missouri, 2021. Isaiah McGuire.
I see him.
Defensive end. Missouri.
Let's do it.
My question is, did they cross paths?
He was there. So I tell you what, I'm gonna let's address the edge. Let's get Isaiah McGuire. We got him on the board. We picking again. Now I like this kid Nathaniel Dell. I want to look at the wide receivers. I think we do draft a wide receiver. It's possible we can wait to that 5th round. I just want to see where Ronnie Bell falls here. So I feel like that's a guy the 49ers are interested in. We can wait to draft a receiver if we're looking for a slot guy, which is exactly what Tank Dell is going to end up in the NFL, right? So do we spin on Tank or do we address another key position?
Could we look at safety?
Please be somebody. Please have my guy available. Oh, Ronnie Hickman is there, bro. Jair Brown is there. Travarius Owens is there. Daniel Scott is available. Who are you thinking?
So we got a tackle. We got a defensive end. An edge. Guard. I think we're set with guard. Centers, maybe? Let's look at a center.
All right. So do you think the 49ers... Oh, I see. I don't like any of these centers, man. Except for maybe
there's 2 on that. There's 2 there.
I like 3. I like Jake Andrews. That's the guy. That's the guy I like. Who are you looking at?
I like Juice Scruggins. What's his name?
Juice Scruggs. Yeah.
I like Jake Andrews later in the draft, but I also
Ricky Stromberg is there as well. Yeah.
Stromberg should not be ranked that low, but that's whatever. I also like the gentleman. Wait, where did we? Jarrett Patterson from Notre Dame. Now, if you remember correctly, I spoke about Patterson last year's draft because he was
Okay.
supposed to come out, but he didn't.
He was, and
He
last year
stayed
he
back.
played center. You see that?
Last year he played guard.
In
He
2000,
was
yeah, last year he played guard. 2021, I'm sorry, he played center.
2021 he was a center. 2020 he was a center. He's a 4-year starter. I think he's a 3-time captain at Notre Dame.
Okay.
That's someone I would have my eye on. Do we need to jump at it right now? I don't think so because there's still talent left on the board. So what we have to do is we have to find out where there's a run and where there's a drop off. Where if we miss it on this pick, we're going to feel it on the next pick.
Yeah,
so,
our only issue is we pick right now. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we won't be able to see the run. I mean, do we address the interior of the defensive line? I like Kobe Turner.
If you see someone you want, grab him.
I really like the Ronnie Hickman kid.
If that's what you like, grab him.
Yeah, we gonna go with the safety. I'm getting Hickman. All right, now let's see what's ooh. See, we didn't give up those fifths. I'm glad, and I'm gonna let you take the 5th round picks. This is the Adam Peters round, so I'm gonna let you address the 5th round.
Go ahead, scroll down.
And there went Wanye Morris,
which is not going to happen in real life, I don't think.
Cam Jones is there if you wanted to replace a linebacker. Zach Kuntz is there. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna let you go ahead and address the 5th round.
Let's pull up the tight ends.
Let's pull up the tight ends, guys. It's tight end time. It's tight end time. Kuntz, Allen, Mallory, Latu, Brenton Strange.
What? They still have Latu? Oh my God. I mean, Kuntz is a workout warrior. He's 6'8". He's a big guy.
I want a red zone target though.
That's Kuntz.
Okay.
I also like Dennis Allen, but I think Dennis Allen's a little high right now.
So we got kids named after Belle Biv DeVoe and kids named after Boyz II Men artists right here. We got Wanye Morris, who was a Boyz II Men artist, and then we got Ronnie Bell, who was named after Ricky Bell and Ronnie DeVoe. This is so funny. Only on this show do we even realize that, though. That's the funniest part.
Look at the centers. Look at the corners.
Let's go to corners first. Corian Bennett is there. Daryl Luter, I like. Alex Austin, Rajon Wright. Guys, I think we can get a little bit later.
Okay, so let's go.
Corian Bennett. Corian Bennett is going to be gone. What are your thoughts on him?
I haven't really dug into. I only handpicked like maybe a couple guys that I really looked at. I really like the kid Riley Moss.
Riley Moss got picked, unfortunately.
Yeah, I like him coming out as like as a pick, but he's not available here. Yeah, I mean, what are you thinking, Wayne?
I mean, I feel like they're going to address the cornerback position in this draft. The question is just when.
Let's look at the defensive tackles.
Yeah, I think that's more of a need. We definitely need to bolster that up, bring in some more depth, especially if we can get some. Maybe there's some talent still available, like the kid from Texas is there, Moro Ojomo. He gives you that. I kind of comped him to like a Charles Omenihu, you know. That's how I kind of again. Kobe Turner is there from Wake Forest. Gerard Clark from Coastal Carolina. Didn't they meet with him? Broderick Martin is there from Western Kentucky. These are some players that they're kind of like high on. Dante Stills, your boy, is there from West Virginia.
So I find that odd that the defensive tackle that I liked that was ranked lower in the other one went before the defensive tackle, this guy. I think the Niners are going to be looking for a big physical space eater on the interior now with the addition of Hargrove to this defensive line. Pre-Hargrove, I think it would have been the opposite. Okay. But now that they have Hargrove, I think they look for a space eater, and unfortunately, the space eater that I like is not here no more. Dante Stills, I feel he could be your inside-outside guy. I think it's a little too high right here.
Okay.
So I guess we could either we could do corner, we could do center. If there's a receiver that you like, we could do the linebacker, Cam Jones. If you,
let's see if your guy's still available. I mean, both of the centers are here. Scruggs.
I would go if there was obviously a run on center. I would do Scruggs right now.
All right, let's do Scruggs. Let's go ahead and address it. You picking in 8 picks anyway, and I don't see any of our guys gone except And so now let's go to the linebacker. Let's see which linebacker is available. Cam Jones is there. They met with Diabate.
Oh God.
Who do you see up here that you
I
like?
I love Aubrey Miller, but I don't know if he's the right fit for this defense.
Okay.
Click on his name 1 second.
Oh, look at his coverage grade, though. God dang. Jeez.
I love Aubrey Miller. Absolutely love. You know what?
Tell me this. What makes him not a fit for this defense?
Because he's more of a Mike linebacker. He's more of the middle, and he's not going to play the middle with Fred Warner here. You know what I'm saying? I think honestly I like him, bro. I like.
Let's do it.
Aubrey Miller.
Let's do it.
I think it might have been a little too high for it, but I like him.
Yeah, let's do it. I gotta plug in my laptop. Be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. Dang, Eric Gray's available. Horton, the edge guy. Who else? So what did we draft? We drafted an edge. We drafted a tackle. We drafted a center. We drafted
a
linebacker. No tight end yet.
I'm getting my wide receiver. Oh, let's look at the tight ends because I do want to get my wide receiver right here. And let me see if there's some tight ends that I feel like we can still work with. Payne Durham is my guy.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like Leonard Taylor is there as well from Cincinnati. There's some tight ends still available.
I like Payne Durham a lot, but you could take your Bell guy.
Let's go get Ronnie Bell. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, and let's go ahead and double up. Let's go ahead and get Payne. Is it too high to get Payne right now?
Again, it depends on what draft you use. Is he available?
Yeah, he's available. I say go get him.
Go for it. Now, just to let you know, our draft grade is probably going to suck because
I could care less.
We didn't stick to their rankings.
Yeah.
All right. I'm slamming the table for Scott, the safety.
All right. So we're going to double up at the safety.
Oh, wait. No, I forgot. You took him.
I took Ronnie Hickman.
I'm sorry. My bad.
He's gone, though. Damn. He usually way at the bottom.
Yeah. Disregard. So we're good with him. Let's go to corners. How many more picks do we have?
4.
Jay Ward offers you versatility as safety and corner.
Okay.
That's someone to be interested in. We definitely have 4 picks left. Yeah.
47, 53, 255, and 259. We picked up an extra 7.
There's one person I'm slamming the table for. I pray to God he's on here.
Okay. You don't see him yet, so that's kind of making me think he's not on here. Who are you looking for?
Let's go tackles and then interior offensive line real quick.
You want to go offensive tackles again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scroll down.
That's it.
And interior offensive line.
Interior offensive line coming right up.
Oh, God. Damn, they're all gone.
Gone.
All right. Whoever you want.
Of course, he leaves it up to me. I think at this point they take best player available. We should draft Malik Cunningham. Then we'll really have a running quarterback.
Hey, go do your best players. Scroll down on your best players.
All right, we're on best players right now. So let's see. There's running backs available. I don't know if we addressed the interior. Is Dale a bigger guy on the inside? Let's take a look at his weight. 300 pounds. Is he a space eater? I know you were talking about that. Carrington Valentine, I don't think we addressed it. This is Sim's guy. I'm going to give Sim his pick. That's a cornerback Sim's been saying that's a sleeper pick for the longest. We're going to go ahead and draft this guy. We got 3 picks left.
All right, I want this guy, Jose Ramirez,
Okay, where is he?
defensive end. I hope to God he's still here.
I think he's gone, bro. Yeah, he gone.
Son of a.
It's crazy, bro.
Wait, see if he's even in here.
How
Type the name of the player to your right. There's a little scroll like you see to the right with the search thing.
Ramirez.
He might not even be in here.
I just want to see if that even works.
Is still available?
Nah, I think he's in here, Tony. But I think once they're drafted, you can't find them. He might have got drafted. Stante Stills. Let's take a look. Nope. Everybody knows.
How about a kicker?
You want to go kicker down? We got 3 picks. You want to go get the kicker? Let's go get him. Let's go get him. He's done. Kicker's done. We got 2 more picks. Quarterback?
No, keep going.
He said no.
Wait, what quarterbacks are available?
Okay. You got Malik Cunningham, Tyson Banjant, Dorian Thompson Robinson, Max Duggan. Those are your quarterbacks available.
Who do you want?
Out of these four quarterbacks, I like Dorian Thompson Robinson.
I agree with you. I'm not sold on the Cunningham.
Last pick, Tony will take best player available. You get another linebacker. You could get a running
back.
Go
to edge one more time.
I think the edges are all gone out of this draft. You can get MJ Anderson, Iko Yoda, Robert Bill Jr., Truman Jones, Andre Jones, Akina, and Nika Ku.
Go Beal Jr. I'm going to tell you why. Phenomenal numbers at the combine. Phenomenal.
What do you think our grade is, bro?
Probably an F.
Nah, we got an A-, so we automatically not going to get an F. We got an A- for the first trade, the pick.
I would say a C-.
Ooh, look at the D's and the F's. Oh, God, Jesus. We got to see. We got to see. God dang it. But I like it, though. I felt like we addressed it. We addressed the need that we needed, right? And
how do they give Aubrey Miller an F? I mean, I don't know.
It's where we picked him on their draft. You know what I'm saying?
They give Scruggs and Hickman D's? Oh, my God.
It's where we drafted them, guys. It's where we. I don't know how Hickman got a D. I mean, that's only
it's a 3rd-round pick.
I know, and it's only 14 spots from where he was projected. Maybe they don't see him as a fit here. Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting. Interesting how they grade. Interesting. Hey, Tony, man, that was fun. What are you looking forward to this week, man? Any new 49ers? Anything you think is going to go down for the 49ers this week? Any more signings?
I mean, you might have some. I mean, if they decide to go to veteran route for a kicker, you might see that. You could see the Lonnie Johnson signing. That's his name, right? Lonnie Johnson.
Lonnie Johnson Jr. Yep.
Yeah, Lonnie Johnson Jr. Because I think his father was a tight end for Buffalo, Lonnie Johnson.
Yep.
You might see another piece or two added. I still think they're in the market, but they're going to be low guys. Don't expect big names, like I said before. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, you're going to continue to hear the Brandon Ayuk rumors. You know, those are rumors. But just one quick thing off of topic, and I know you probably addressed the whole free agent signings with Cleveland Farrell. I think the Niners potentially could stumble upon something with him because, like I said before, I was watching the Raiders game. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-pro by all means. The Raiders used him as a 3-4 outside linebacker and dropped him in coverage versus Kittle versus McCaffrey several times.
It's not his strengths.
And, you give this kid the opportunity to do one job, and that's just to get the quarterback. that light bulb might click. In that type of scheme, he might have to think. In the Niners scheme, there's no thinking. He's got one job and just go do it. And that's it. Again, I'm not saying we have like the next Charles Haley, but you could see that streak continue with producing former failed first round draft picks due to poor fits and schemes into a guy that can get you 5 to 7 sacks and then the next year get a big contract. So, kudos to Chris Kosaric and the scouting division and to go out and bring this guy in and just see. The kid's got a good head on his shoulders, got a high motor, he's got great work ethic. He doesn't have that elite first step, but we'll see.
Look, I think the Raiders used him wrong. I think he'll come to a system where he fits and he'll get used properly. I mean, he's going to be coached probably by the best defensive line coach in football. And this is something that Chris Kosaric thrives in, polishing and taking something and turning it into, something that's nothing and turning into something. And I'm not saying that Cleveland Farrell was nothing, but they really utilized him improperly over there with the Raiders. And it was because they were drafting they had a bunch of first round picks and they were just drafting the best players available. And sometimes it just doesn't pan out. And so, it's unfortunate for them, but it's going to be a blessing for us, that one man's loss is another man's treasure type of things. And so we've seen it done before here in San Francisco, and I think you continue to see it. I can't wait to see what he's going to be once he seems super happy. He's ecstatic to be here, and he can't wait to get to winning football. I think that's what's most important. You come here as a 49er, it's a culture, it's a winning culture, and it's fun to play. Everybody wants to play under Kyle Shanahan and all that good stuff. So it's definitely going to be good. A couple of more super chats before we get on up out of here. Again, I wanted to thank Tony for lending us his time today. Tony, you're so much appreciated. Sean says, and thank you for the super chat contribution. This is back to the Trey Lance situation that we were talking about a little bit earlier on the show. Don't you think Lynch's statement that Trey Lance needs to get on the field, which is a challenge because we are ready to go, implies Trey isn't ready? What are your thoughts on that?
I kind of agree with you, Sean.
I agree with Sean too.
I think there's a possibility that this has legs to it, and there's some truth in that statement. He said that, if I'm correct, didn't he say that at the combine?
No, yes, he said it at the combine, and what he said, and if I'm not mistaken, and I'll do my best to quote, he started off the conversation with talking about how great Trey Lance is and how great Trey Lance has become. And then he says the issue is we need to find a way to get him on the field. He talked about Trey Lance has to stay healthy, and we need to find a way to get him on the field. So I like that Sean brought this up, because what does that mean? What do you mean?
If you have your GM who traded up multiple first-round picks to get him and identify him as your future franchise quarterback, and he's saying we need to find a way to get him on the field,
that's scary to me.
That's
right?
Red flags all over it.
So Sean, you're not the only person, and I thank you for you giving the contribution and bringing this up. You're not the only person that was thinking this, because at first, listening to John Lynch speak, I was mesmerized by his praise for Trey Lance, and then as you continue to go back and listen to it, there was doubt that there's a possibility that Trey Lance may not see the field. And then what do they end up doing? They don't sign a veteran quarterback. They get a potential starter day one type of quarterback to come in here and compete. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to read between the lines with this team.
Yeah, I think people will start to understand that's kind of what we do on this show. We trying to read between the lines. The great John Chapman is in the building.
John Chapman. Legend.
John Chapman's in the building from the 49ers Rush podcast right here on YouTube and everywhere. All right. John, what's going on, bro? Hope to see you on tomorrow on the John and Wayne show, and then we'll see you on Friday on the John and Wayne show. How cool is that? You get us twice a week on both streams. So that'll be great. It's good to have John back. It's his great draft and show. So I can tell you right now, John is going to be doing the Patreon breakdown on all the players we drafted in the draft. So if you want to find out who these players are, go check out his Patreon, because I'm going to be
on our draft.
John be on it. John got played. I'm surprised John don't get paid by the national NCAA football league for putting out books and players and stats and all that type of stuff. John be on it.
No, I would love to do something like that. I
know
just
about some of these players, so now I got to go.
Have the time to do it, man.
I know, Tony. I know, but John does.
Yo, he said videos downloading now. That's crazy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. We got a couple of more super chat contributions. Jax Knox says, will there be a show tonight? I'm with Chris. Yes, there will be a show tonight. The Nitty Gritty Niners Talk Show will be tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune in. We're going to be putting together our big board for the draft. It's going to be a fun show. We're going to actually put together our top 100 players that we feel should be on the big board for the San Francisco 49ers. So it's going to be a really interesting show to watch. All right. So make sure you guys tune in. All right. And then my brother Nick is in the building. Foghorns. What's up, guys? Just got here late. Wanted to chime in. What a surprising move. If any do you see the Niners pulling via free agency or the draft? What a surprising move, if any, do you see the Niners pulling via free agency or the draft? He's probably talking about this tackle position, and there could also be trades on the draft. We didn't even talk about draft day trades. Tony.
Well, the one surprising move I could see before the draft is the edge.
Ooh.
One of these veterans. I think if they can get him for the price that they can get him for, if they can get him for his price, for their price, I think they pull the trigger and bring in another veteran edge guy.
I agree with that. I don't think they sign a tackle, but if they do sign a right tackle, we gave you two options to look into. Tony, who is your option?
Billy Turner.
And then my option was Tom Compton. So just take a look at those two guys. We'll talk about them more this week throughout the shows. But again, they're going to sign a couple of more free agents. They just have to be, what's the word I said? The 49ers aren't cheap, but they have a set price that they're willing to pay.
I think you got Christy's super chat. She said, you missed my super chat.
I did. I'm sorry. Oh, there it is.
Damn you, Breezie. How dare you? I'm sorry, Christy.
I am. Breezie, is there a show tonight? And this is for Tony. So, yes, there's a show tonight, 7 p.m. But, Tony, watch Talladega Nights today. Great show. Chat. I can't believe you haven't seen Talladega Nights, yo.
Is that the race car movie?
Yes.
I think I might have seen bits and pieces of it. Nothing that I sat through a whole movie. But I'll take your word for it, Christy. I'll see if I can find it on demand or something.
So he's gonna take Christy's word, but
I'll take Wayne's word. What she's saying, make sure.
Yeah, I told you got to see it, bro. Like it's like
but she did a super chat, so I gotta, it's your show, Wayne.
Now I got you, bro. I'm just saying you got to watch the movie. It's like a Friday movie. You got to have it in your staple of movies, bro.
Yeah, buddy.
Tony, it's always a blessing when you come on here, man. We always have a great time. Guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Stay up, stay faithful. Make sure you tune in every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m., unless there's a schedule change. All right. Don't forget to check out Nitty Gritty Niners tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, nothing but Niners, Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The John Chapman Show, the John and Wayne Show will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then on Friday at 11 a.m. So it's a bunch of shows going on this week. Get ready. 49ers football is back. The new league year is here. We out this joint, y'all. Stay up, stay faithful. Thanks for watching. I forgot to do the poll. I knew I forgot to do the poll.
Jesus Christ. He's like,
All right, here we go.
You scared the hell out of me.
So my bad. The poll question was, what should the 49ers do to address the right tackle position? Draft for depth, draft to start, sign a free agent, start a play on the roster. Tony, what would you do? There's no all of the above.
Being that they have not jumped out and signed the right tackle like right away that was not on the team, I'll go with let's see what McKivit's got.
Oh, so he's going with the starter. All right. 38% said draft for depth. So that kind of means what you're saying. We want to see what we got here, but we're going to draft a tackle anyway for depth. So 38% probably wouldn't have traded up in the draft like we did on today, bro. And they just would have took whoever fell to them. Interesting.
Well, wait. No, technically that's not true because you still could trade up because remember how I started the show. The team likes to add all their pieces and cover all their major holes. And then they go into the draft to take what they want, identify, fill in the roster. And their draft usually tells you what year 2 is going to be. So
Correct.
that is drafting for depth. It's just you're going up to get that person if there's a wrong.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think what I was alluding to was if I'm going to move up, I'm getting a guy that's going to come in and compete like the moment they step in to the rookie mini camp, and they could potentially be penciled in as the starting tackle. That's what I think. That's what I'm alluding to. But
I got what you're saying. I got
you know what I'm saying. Sean is back with contribution. He says, "Ha ha, Christy, wah 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 wah." How funny is that we didn't end the show, guys? Again, thanks for watching. Thank you for the contributions as well. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.